This is the video that has gone viral after the Israel diplomat was booted out from the African Union summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. At the heart of the dispute is Israel's accreditation to the bloc. It has left the AU extremely divided, as some prefer Israel to be given observer status, but countries like South Africa and Algeria are totally opposed to the move, as they're sympathetic to the Palestinian cause. The ANC says it's maintained its position regarding its support for the Palestinians.
The ANC's stated views on apartheid Israel remains relevant to this day. Independent reports of Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch firmly define the character of Israel as that of an apartheid state. Only a two-state solution can bring an end to the hardships suffered by Palestinians at the hands of Israeli forces. All peace-loving nations rooting for a world premised on a better life for all should be consistent in their calls for apartheid Israel to be respectful of human life, as well as past agreements on how to end the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. It is also for this reason that the ANC is against the AU granting apartheid Israel any observer status.
The South African Friends of Israel say they're incredibly disturbed by this incident.
It is very unfortunate that while South Africa takes a dehyphenated stance between Russia and Ukraine, judging each country on its own merits and refusing to outrightly condemn Russia, despite the Director General of DIRCO saying that the killing of Ukrainian civilians by Russia is unlawful, shows that South Africa has a hypocritical stance against Israel. This while 3.5 million Africans are benefiting from fresh water brought to them by Israeli water and solar power technology, not to mention 500,000 South Africans who are benefiting from the same. South African Friends of Israel called on the South African government to take seriously its role in the African Union and be a driver of peace between Palestine and Israel.
This issue remains a source of division within the AU, and the AU committee was appointed to discuss Israel's observer status as not met. Turning to the conclusion of the summit, South Africa has been appointed chair of the AU Peace and Security Council. President Cyril Ramaphosa will have to ensure that the continental structure attends to all hotspots in Africa.
The continent continues to work on the project of silencing the guns throughout the continent, and therefore it occupies a lot of the time of the assembly. We were able to report on the various conflicts that are taking place on the continent. Of course, we started off with a great success in relation to Ethiopia, where there was a settlement in South Africa facilitated by President Obasanjo, President Kenyatta, and our own former Deputy President Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka, where we were able to get the government of Ethiopia and the Tigray Liberation Front to agree on a cessation of hostilities and to start working on peace. We're rather pleased to know and notice that peace is descending on Ethiopia, so that was a huge accolade that we paid to the key leaders who have been involved. We also dealt with the conflict that's been going on in the eastern DRC, and in that regard President Lorenzo of Angola has played a key role together with President Kenyatta and President Ndayishimiye of Burundi, and we were able to get a really good report where after a 5-hour meeting yesterday, President Lorenzo was able to bring the parties together, and we were able to confirm that the conflict would stop, the relationship between Rwanda and the DRC would be improved, and that the Eastern African Community Regional Force would now get into the whole process and be peace builders in the area, and that M23 will stop hostilities.
The UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres, who attended the AU summit, is expected to visit the war-torn region of Tigray on Monday. Khayelihle Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.